And welcome to World War G. I'm Troy.
Guys, I want you to meet a really good friend of mine. This is Troy.
I'm AJ.
AJ? What kind of name is AJ? Oh, you race cars?
Alright, before we get into all of our stories and stuff, we got Happy Birth Event Day coming up this week in Geek and Revs and Rex. Before we get to any of that, I wanted to plug something. So, about, when was this?
Last week?
Back on December 13th.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. Emily sent me a message. Now, if you're familiar with the podcast, if you're listening for a while, you know who Emily is.
I usually just call her EJ.
Right.
Yeah. It's better than calling her ED.
Right, yeah. That is better.
Sorry.
Emily is my niece, and she's also kind of been a supporter of the podcast pretty much since day one.
Oh, yeah. She's our biggest cheerleader.
Mm-hmm. And then her husband, Colton, was actually probably the longest tenured co-host we had.
Oh, yeah.
I think he was with us for probably a year, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close.
Thanks to him, we got the list segment.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, she sent me a message and asked if I could send her one of my drawings that I do, or that I've done. So I asked, any picture? She says, yeah. I said, okay. So I sent it off. And a little background. What she does, she has a craft shop.
Yeah.
An Etsy shop called EC Does It Crafts on Etsy. So go to Etsy, search EC Does It. And she makes these really cool gifts. Like I said, crafts. You can buy for people. Like she has like hoodies and mugs, really cool mugs. Like there's this cool wooden barrel mug that she made. I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
This witch's broom mug. And she also makes these tumblers. And with the tumblers, you can have like any sort of design on them you want. She does custom ones. And so the picture I sent to her was of Optimus Primal from Beast Wars. And she just sent it to me, or dropped it off yesterday. And it's stainless steel. Like I said, it's just as good as anything you're going to find in a store.
Oh, yeah. Let me check.
And, I mean, it's high quality. The picture looks good on it. She kind of, put kind of this little messy-looking design on it with it.
Which works great,
Which works really well, yeah.
It almost looks like he had just fallen just straight from, the skies.
Right. And so, yeah. So if you're interested in getting something like that.
That barrel mug looks way...
It's really cool.
Dude.
It's really cool. Again, head to EC Does It Crafts on Etsy. Or you can find them and like them on Facebook. Okay. Now let's get to Happy Birth Event Day. And I'm calling it Happy Birth Event Day because there's nobody really of note that died today on January 9th. Or really anybody of note that got married, unless you want to talk about Ryan Lochte, and no one ever wants to talk about Ryan Lochte.
No, not at all.
I don't even think Ryan Lochte wants to talk about Ryan Lochte.
Probably not.
So, we're going to run through some people of note that are born today and some historic events that happened today. But first, born on this day in 1913, Richard Nixon.
Okay.
I assume you've heard of him?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he is?
President?
Yes.
Former president?
Bonus points if you know what number president he was.
Ooh, 36.
Ooh, you were close. 37.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I knew it was like third, somewhere right in the mix. Yeah.
Formerly known as the worst president we've ever had. Till
he wasn't a crook.
recently. That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a crook. I've been vindicated.
What is that? What is that film? I think it just might be called Dick.
There's one called Dick. Yeah.
Where it's those girls that are like trying to investigate
Oh, that's. No, yeah, you're right. It is called Dick. Yeah. It has Kirsten Dunst in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
And they joke about like who Deep Throat was and all sorts of other stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Also born on this day in 1935. I doubt you'll know who this guy is. Bob Denver.
A singer.
No, you're thinking John Denver.
Damn. Yeah.
Bob Denver was Gilligan on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, okay. I used to watch that show all the time before going. Like,
but you didn't know his name was Bob Denver.
I did not.
You never watched credits.
No, never. Not one bit. I'm like, nope, done with the episode. I was like Netflix before Netflix was a thing. Just, start the next episode.
Yeah.
Troy's like, ooh, who's that person? Let me write down their name.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah, let me. Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Oh,
exactly.
Wow.
And look now, look what it's done. I now have a pop culture podcast,
yeah.
podcast, where I'm like, hey, it's this person. You asked me many times, hey, who played this person in this thing?
All the time.
Yeah, see?
I don't go to IMDb. I go to IMDb Troy.
That's right.
IMDT. Ooh.
Well, that would be Internet Movie Data Troy.
Yeah.
So it'd be like, unless you want to do like Troy Movie Database, TMDB.
Ooh. That has kind of a ring to it.
Yeah.
New segment?
Maybe. Well, that's it. We'll workshop it.
Yes.
1944. Born on this day, Jimmy Page.
I thought for sure, so you're doing birthdays and then also events. Gotcha. Okay.
I'm doing birthdays first.
Yeah. I was just like, where the hell are these events at?
You know how this segment works, right?
Yeah.
We do the birthdays and then the deaths.
Yeah.
So now we're doing the birthdays and then the events.
I gotcha. Picking up what you're throwing down.
Sometimes I wonder if you pay attention at all when you're here. Yeah, exactly.
Where am I?
Jimmy Page, 1944.
Nope, no idea.
He was the guitarist for Led Zeppelin.
Oh, all right.
Never been a big Led Zeppelin fan.
Neither have I. No.
Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, all those guys, AC/DC, they're just never really my thing. 1955, born on this day, J.K. motherfucking Simmons.
I do know that actor.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You'll be hard-pressed to find, pound for pound, a better actor than J.K. Simmons.
That's true.
The dude is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just in everything he does. He can do serious. He can do funny. He can do cartoon, animation. It doesn't matter. He crushes it every single time. 1967, born on this day, Dave Matthews.
The lead singer of Dave Matthews Band?
Yes. Again,
not a huge fan.
No, not a big fan.
No.
Yeah.
Like one good hit that is just like, okay.
Yeah, I
Wasn't
mean...
the Joker? Some people call me the Space.
No, that's not Dave Matthews.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh.
Very sure. No, that song was actually around the time Dave Matthews was born.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going through like some of his songs. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Anthony's crushing to me.
He had a couple...
Don't Drink the Water.
Like that song, Crash Into Me.
Yeah.
Crash Into Me, baby. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I think that was him.
It was.
Okay.
96?
Right. Yeah. Like, I liked a couple of his hits, but, yeah. 1978, born on this day, A.J. Mclean.
My namesake.
Fellow AJ. I don't think this is your namesake. I don't think your parents named you after him.
They did not. It was actually going to be Alex Jordan.
Really?
Yeah. And then they went with Jefferson.
All right.
Sounded more presidential.
It is presidential, yes.
No idea.
He is one of the singers from the Backstreet Boys.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hated NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Hated them all. I jokingly made fun of my friends that liked them.
Yeah, because they were boy bands, and back in high school, you had to hate the boy bands because that was the trendy, cool thing to do.
No, I just didn't like their music.
Their music is not that bad. It's not that bad.
It was. See, I was like Team Britney, dude. Like,
I like Britney too.
Yeah,
but I was a closeted NSYNC and Backstreet Boys fan.
Wow. Okay.
John Lennon said, "Good music is good music, or a good song is a good song. It doesn't matter who does it."
I don't mind Justin Timberlake. I didn't mind his music like after he branched off and did his own
solo.
stuff.
Yeah, sure,
yeah.
Sure.
But just I made fun of my best friend growing up because he liked them and he also liked Power Rangers. I give him so much shit for that. Sorry, Michael.
Power Rangers was good too. What kind of childhood did you have?
An awesome one. But yeah, we just kind of made fun of him for that.
It sounded like you were kind of sheltered. I think
sheltered.
Yes,
please.
Like you weren't watching Power Rangers. What were you Cartoons? Watching as a kid? Yeah,
cartoons. Gilligan's Island. Mystery Science Theater. Yeah, lots of cartoons. Cartoon Network. Maybe it's because you didn't have Cartoon Network.
I did eventually. I had Cartoon Network.
You're late to the game, Troy. I'd been watching Cartoon Network for years.
I was watching Cartoon Network.
One Saturday morning. Oh, watch the shit out of that stuff. One Saturday morning. 5 hours of sun. No.
I think you just like to hop on the bandwagon of things that are easy to make fun of. You're a bandwagon.
No.
You're a bandwagon.
Bullshit. Bull. I'm trying to think. Well, it's weird because like some of the stuff later on down the road, I definitely was on the bandwagon when everybody else was liking it. Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa, all those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bandwagoner.
Bullshit. Okay. Like you liking them, isn't that a bandwagoner? With everybody else?
You mean disliking them?
No, with enjoying them. Hopping on the bandwagon.
Oh, like NSYNC and stuff?
Yeah. Because other girls like it, so you're like, oh yeah.
I suppose there could be an argument to be made, yes. Yes. But I didn't not like them because, everybody else didn't like them. Because I was a guy and I was supposed to hate on Backstreet Boys.
Unpopular opinion, I didn't mind Nickelback back in the day.
I still don't mind Nickelback.
Yeah. Like, people give them so much shit and hate them just because. They're probably the most number one hated band out there, I would say. There's a good argument to be made for that. But
if you were in high school, junior high, and with a group of friends, would you ever say, I like Nickelback? Would you ever say
no.
that? Yeah,
no.
See, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, let's move on here. The historical events that happened this day, I have a few of them, so we'll just run through them. In 1431, the trial of Joan of Arc began.
Oh, wow.
Because she dressed up as a man and wanted to help her country. How dare she? That bitch.
I think it was the God angle that got her burnt.
Well, it doesn't help. In 1493, Christopher Columbus saw manatees for the first time.
Well, okay, because I think that, only the Pope and some of these, like...
Just not moving on from that yet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, those ordained people were the only ones that were supposed to be able to hear, like, anything from God.
Right.
And if she's saying that she heard messages from God, yeah. Especially being a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway, 1493. Christopher Columbus saw manatees for the first time.
Oh, wow. What did he call them?
a lot of people think that that's where the myth of mermaids come from, as manatees.
Been out on the ocean for a while, they start looking pretty. Yeah.
Well, if you see this weird thing you've never seen before swimming in the water, wonder what the heck that is.
It's a half human.
I don't know. They were probably all drunk on seawater and rum or whatever they drank. I don't know.
Had scurvy and whatnot.
Exactly. They were delusional. In 1839, we got the first photo of a person on this day.
Oh, wow.
It was a man getting his shoes shined in France, I think, or in Paris.
Is that photo still around?
It is. You can look it up. Yep. It's a crappy-ass photo, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But yeah, it's the first photo of a person. In 1861, Mississippi secedes from the Union. In the midst of the
I still remember learning how to spell that word.
Yeah.
Mississippi. Yeah.
And having spent 2 years there, I'm surprised that they were smart enough to actually do that. No, actually, they were dumb enough to join the not Union. Confederates. Thank you. Wow. Fucking Mississippi. All right. In 1942, Joe Louis KO'd Buddy Bear in his 20th World Heavyweight Championship match.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1947, Elizabeth Short was murdered in an unsolved crime that would come to be known as the Black Dahlia murder. I'm sure you've heard of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Still unsolved.
Really?
Yep. Still unsolved.
We're going to solve it. This podcast is going to solve it.
It was, let's see, it was 47. It was Hitler.
Get out the cork boards.
Hitler did it.
Hitler did it.
I would make that the name of the episode, but I don't think I will.
Hitler did it.
Hitler did it. And then in 1965, last one here, the Beatles album 65 stays #1 for 9 weeks.
That's an impressive feat. Especially during the 60s.
Yeah.
To stay #1 for that long, that's saying something.
They were kings of the 60s, man. All right. That's enough of that. Let's move on now to This Week in Geek.
This Week in Geek.
So, Pixar has their newest short, and it's making waves. Pixar Turning Red will debut exclusively on Disney+. After cutting its teeth, investigating the unexplored world of toys, bugs, bedroom closets, and later Pixar has ventured into... it seems that Pixar has taken a new direction since they've already explored all these other avenues, that they're diving more into the existential universe.
Yeah.
With movies such as Inside and Soul, Luca, but their newest one, Turning Red, keeps up with this habit and kind of keeps us in this habit with a story about the pangs of early adolescence, mood swings, and whatnot. Because every time they have this person has a mood swing, they turn into this big fluffy panda. But it's going to be I think this is a bad move for Disney. To only exclusively have it on Disney Plus, where what they've done with those other ones like Mulan and some of these other pictures.
Well, is it going to cost people?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
I believe they didn't say put a price tag on it, but all their other ones in the past have been around $30 to watch, and that's what this one looks to be. And I think this is a misstep, especially after seeing the success that Spider-Man has had in theaters.
Yeah, well, with
with the new variant.
yeah, I think that's why I think they're a little worried about that.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, I get the thought process behind it with like what they're deciding to do, but it's interesting how this has affected the whole movie industry.
And you never know. You never know. It's a couple months away, so you never know what the future is going to hold. Maybe they'll decide to release it in the theaters as well. I don't know. But I will say, this is the first Pixar movie in a long time where I'm like, I don't need to see this.
Really?
Yeah.
I felt the same way about like Luca.
Yeah.
I was just kind of okay, and I wasn't 100% sold on Soul at first. Like, it turned out to be pretty good.
Soul's pretty good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of forgot that movie even existed.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, Soul was okay. Luca was okay. Well, no, I take that back. Soul was better than okay. Soul was pretty good.
Yeah.
But Luca was okay.
It didn't have a very memorable villain.
Yeah. Well, really memorable anything.
Yeah.
Encanto was okay. They've just kind of had
a string of okay ones. Yeah. Which is weird.
Mediocre films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this one actually, I'd have to disagree, and I'm kind of looking forward to this one.
Really?
I think it actually has a lot of potential, and it could be kind of funny and whimsical, but I guess it hasn't been getting much media attention, so I don't know. They're just letting it fly under the radar, but it looks like they're going to charge for it.
Okay. I don't know.
What's Pixar going to have to do to get you, because they have the same animation style. What's it going to take to get you back on the bandwagon for Pixar? Go a different direction?
Yeah, let's go back to, I don't know, the whole, like, fluffy, saccharine sweet thing that they're doing right now. Like, I don't care. Let's go back to, like, The Incredibles, you know? Let's do something like Cars, you know, even though that was a little saccharine sweet, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't need to, I was going to say, I don't need to know what's happening in the mind of a 12-year-old girl, but Inside Out was pretty awesome.
Right.
But I don't know. I want to go back to just, like, straight storytelling. Like, I don't need these existential, you know,
I like getting in touch
symbolic
with my
movies. Yeah. Let's go back to The Incredibles punching giant robots.
That doesn't have that. Ones that you don't have to think too much about.
Yes.
I also think that they need to do some sort of a franchise, like one that's going to have a couple of films.
Yeah.
It seems like they're just planning singular
one-offs.
Yeah. And then you've got these other ones like like you were saying, Cars, Monsters Inc., like some of A Bug's Life, Toy Story.
A Bug's Life. Let's get back to A Bug's Life.
Yeah.
That didn't even have a sequel.
No. And that one has a big part in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no.
Or had.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
It's gone.
But for quite a few years.
Yes,
for one movie, that's pretty damn impressive to have like a portion of the park dedicated to that.
Bug's Life was huge for a while there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ironically enough.
Right?
No, it was fun. Last time I was at Disneyland, I went to a Bug's Land, and it was fun. Now it's Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'd go down into the theater showing that they had, and then you sit through that little program that they put on.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Then you get poked by a bug in the butt.
Little roller coaster you could ride with Heimlich and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. All right. Well, kind of speaking of Disney, but not really. Winnie the Pooh and Bambi have entered the public domain. Now, if you aren't aware, these intellectual properties are often copyrighted, and those copyrights last for only a certain amount of time unless you renew them. Well, the Winnie the Pooh and Bambi copyrights are running out, and I don't think they're going to be renewed or just nobody cares to renew them. But here's the thing. It is, if you're thinking Winnie the Pooh, red shirt, no pants, talked by Jim Cummings, that's not the one. This is A.A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh, the original.
Oh.
So if you're going to write a Winnie the Pooh story, you got to use that version. You can't use Disney's version.
Okay.
Disney's version will sue you.
Yeah.
If you do that.
Yeah.
Same with Bambi. Like if you want to use Felix Salten's Bambi, which the Disney movie was based on, you can do that.
That'd be a little more difficult. You have to toe the line, right?
Yeah.
You can't take quite as many liberties or.
Yep.
Why doesn't Disney just purchase them? Or
That's a good question.
right?
I don't know.
So
I was thinking maybe there was a deal where the copyrights only lasted for so long and then they were just done.
yeah,
I don't know.
how it worked back in the day.
No.
Where you're just like, nope, you have to like let them run out.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other things that are becoming public domain here in the next couple of years. Hundreds of films are in the public domain.
This only opens it up for people to actually like create more content.
Yeah.
Right? Which
We can write a Winnie the Pooh story.
Yeah.
Or a Bambi story.
Yes.
And no one can sue us.
As long as it's from the original.
Yeah. Right.
You don't want Disney coming after you.
No.
So, recently, they had that Harry Potter special on HBO for the 20th anniversary. And one of the funniest things that they threw in there is, instead of having a picture, Emma Watson responds to Emma Roberts' baby photo that they put into that Harry Potter reunion. And it was funny because she went to Instagram to say, very cute picture. Like, I definitely wasn't that cute as a baby, but that's not
bullshit.
Me. Yeah. They were playing nice. But these two girls, they're very similar heights. I know they were competing for some of the same roles, like
they were.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
That was a big one. They'd also wanted Emma. Who was it? Yeah. Which one did they want? One of the Emmas. No, they wanted Emma Roberts to actually be Harley Quinn for a minute, but she was doing that Scream TV show, which only had a couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they were competing back and forth, and they always felt kind of like rivals, but Emma Watson definitely shone through.
Well, Emma Watson was never up for Harley Quinn, was she?
No.
Okay.
That was just Emma Roberts.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it seems kind of funny on this big, ginormous production that they're putting on that they get the wrong photo. They spent millions and millions of dollars putting this together.
Yeah,
and they can't put the right photo in.
Funny thing about this, so my now abandoned YouTube channel, Celebrity Tins?
Yes.
I did one on Emma Watson, right?
Right.
Guess what photo I used?
No.
That photo.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. That I now learned is Emma Roberts, not Emma Watson.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I used the exact same photo. And I bet if I went to the comments of that video now, it's probably flooded.
Oh, for sure. Do you still get like any revenue from that YouTube channel?
I haven't checked.
Okay.
I might.
Yeah.
It's very possible. Yeah.
Have you seen many Emma Roberts like films?
One or two.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what they were, the names of them, but I've seen her in a couple things, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think she's quite as talented as her aunt, Julia.
Yeah.
But, she's fine. She's fine. Definitely not my favorite Emma, that's for sure.
No. You don't get to be a patron saint of the podcast.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, Emma Roberts will never be patron saint, nor Emma Stone.
Are we going to ever induct any others into this list? I mean, there's a vetting process. Yeah,
there is. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
it's a very involved process.
it is.
We have to run it through a lot of people. We gotta have votes. We gotta get an audience together and take a poll. I mean, it's a whole involved thing. So I don't know how often you still watch Jeopardy.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. But that's apparently still going on. And Amy Schneider has just become the first woman to surpass $1 million winnings on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Making her the first woman ever to surpass $1 million. Apparently, she won it after her 28th straight victory on the show.
I was going to say, like, they'll maybe get a 20 grand, 30 grand an episode.
Yeah,
so that's a long-ass time to get $1 million.
So she joins the show's Hall of Famers Matt Amodio, who amassed a total of $1.5 million over the course of 38 games. James Holzhauer, who earned $2.4 million on the show after 32 victories. And then Ken Jennings, local boy Ken Jennings, who is the all-time champ for in 74 games, he won $2.5 million.
Wow.
Now, how much of that they actually got to keep?
Yeah. I know when my parents actually won so they did this is back in the day. They won a couple of four-wheelers and a little trailer to haul it in.
Really?
Yeah, but they ended up having to pay about like $1,500 for, like, it was just cheaper than to actually purchase them outright.
Yeah.
But it was almost 50%. You know? So,
and that's what they don't tell you with these like game shows.
No.
Like Price is Right. If you win that stuff, it's not free.
No, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, you got it.
Otherwise, they will cut you a check, but then it's going to be only 30 to 50% of what it actually, the winnings of that is.
Yep.
That showcase.
Yep.
So she's probably, what do you think? She's probably taking home maybe
like half, 1.5.
Yeah.
Well, no, I was thinking Ken Jennings. If she won $1 million,
500,000.
500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which still isn't bad.
No, not
but
at
that's like a lot of games. You break that down into, 28 games or so?
27, 28.
Yeah.
I clicked away, but yeah.
Huh. Dang.
Yeah.
So, Spider-Man No Way Home has officially topped the box office for a whole month. Additionally, it is now the 6th highest grossing film ever at the domestic box office, surpassing Titanic. Spider-Man No Way Home has earned an additional $30 million this weekend at the box office numbers. Excuse me. It began to dip amid the spread of the COVID variant, the Omicron variant. The film has made a total of $666.5 million.
Ooh, scary. 666.
I know, right?
Spider-Man made a deal with the devil.
Probably. Sony's highest grossing movie ever. So,
wow.
That is some impressive numbers, especially in this crazy world that we live in now.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure it wasn't going to be until like 2024, 2025 that we'd start getting something with that big of numbers.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be like, 2021, 2022.
Yeah, that's definitely pre-pandemic numbers, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I did love the film, and I thought it was fantastic, and it hit me right in the feels, and it had everything I was looking for in a film.
I saw it twice.
But I wouldn't say it was the greatest of all time, or like that's some impressive numbers. Was it a little bit because there was nothing else competing with it, perhaps?
That, plus there was a lot of hype behind this film.
Oh, everybody was giving it like great reviews.
Yeah. And word of mouth, I'm sure, spread like wildfire once it came out, and
right.
Yeah, so, I mean, with the villains that were coming in from past Spider-Man movies, you had all those fans that wanted to see it, plus the MCU fans, plus, so...
Now you can add your other Spider-Man movies to your MCU collection.
Exactly.
They're canon. Yeah.
So, yeah, it had a lot of backing behind it. Yeah. And now we know why, because Tom Holland made a deal with the devil.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to be doing 3 more, too. 3 more films.
Interesting, because didn't he say he wanted to retire?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because then I was reading other reports. I think the dude's all over the place. Like, I don't know if it's a money grab, because he seems like such a nice, down-to-earth kid, that it doesn't seem that he'd be, like, pulling kind of a UFC kind of a thing, where he's just like, no, I'm retiring. Oh, the money's too good. I'm going to come back out of retirement. Like, she's like, yeah, I'd like to start a family.
It might have something to do with his contract.
Really?
Trying to get some more money. Yeah, it may. Sony may be like, no, please don't go anywhere. Here's all the money.
Yeah. You just like to think better of him, that he's just not in it for the money.
Yep.
But that would take a lot out of you to be in that suit that many hours.
Sure. Sure it would. Yeah, I need to write a song now. Devil went down to England. He's looking for a soda steal. So we're getting a new biopic about former Hollywood star Audrey Hepburn.
Okay.
And the actress who is going to play her is Rooney Mara, who you'll know from a bunch of things, namely Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. She was just in something recently that I saw. What the heck was it? It was a fairly big film. What the heck was it? Hang on, I gotta look it up. Damn it.
I thought we were like, you were IMDb or T whatever.
Shut the fuck up.
Wow, we hyped that all up, and then you can't even remember.
Nightmare Alley.
There you
Nightmare Alley.
All right.
That's what it was. That's what I can remember, because that was a pretty forgettable film. Yeah, she'll be starring as Audrey Hepburn. Now, if you look at the two from side by side, holy shit, they look similar.
They really do.
Yeah. They could easily be sisters. So
were you ever a big Audrey Hepburn film buff?
No.
Right? I've only seen, Breakfast at Tiffany's and My Fair Lady.
I don't think I've seen any of her films.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Just You Wait and Read Again's. Just You know?
Yeah, Breakfast at Tiffany's, My Fair Lady, Wait Until Dark, Charade, Sabrina. Yeah.
It's uncanny. They do look pretty damn similar.
Yeah, she's an EGOT winner.
Oh, wow.
She won an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. Good for her.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
There's not too many of them that have actually done that, right?
Not a lot.
That's like the Triple Crown.
Yes. Yep. When did she die? I think it was just in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway. 93. That's when she died. 93.
So, The Boys, we've been waiting for this for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3 has finally announced that it has itself a date. This is one of those shows that I was like, I loved the first season.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like the second season, it kind of went bigger and focused on a couple of characters that I didn't really care for.
Right.
This is the first season that I'm just kind of on the fence about.
Yeah.
I'll watch it because I'm already too far invested into it.
Sure.
But I feel like from all the hype that they've talked about it, that they're just gonna try to one up themselves. And then there's a couple of scenes that felt out of place. Namely them driving that boat into the big whale.
Into the whale.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of funny, and I get what they were kind of going for, but it seemed like a cheap laugh.
Yeah, it was.
And
I think the series has gone for more style over substance.
Yes.
Like, they want to get the cool shots, they want to get the ultra violence, and story be damned. But that's kind of what it seems like to me. Like, they want to go for the shock value, not so much telling a good story. Which
is disappointing because that's like there are some scenes in that first season, the airplane scene that I'm like, damn, that to me will cause more shock value in a good way than like them killing somebody or her popping that dude's head.
Yeah.
Right?
Or Homelander having a nursing fetish. Like, okay, whatever.
So I hope that they can kind of, with this season, put it back on track.
Yeah, I hope so too.
They've introduced some new characters, some very interesting ones that I think will... Like, I love those characters that you never know where their head's at exactly, and they're kind of a wild card. And I feel like there's a couple of those like that they've got in place that they could do something interesting with. But... yeah, it looks like it's just the season 3 is just around the corner.
Okay. See, and I think Watchmen, that series, did it right.
Oh, same.
One season, in and out, make the best absolute story you could in that season, and done. And it was almost a perfect series.
It really was, yeah. No, absolutely. I feel like they did it justice, and like that's one of my favorite superhero movies. So I thought they knocked it out of the park for sure.
All right, let's get to our Revs and Rex. So. It was fine before we started recording. You asked what reviews I had, and I said, I saw 355. You went, what? The what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty forgettable film. So, yeah, here's your overview of the 355. CIA agent Mason Brown joins forces with a rival German agent, a cutting-edge computer specialist, and a Colombian psychologist when a top-secret weapon falls into the hands of a group of mercenaries. Together, the women embark on a breakneck mission to save the world while staying one step ahead of a mysterious figure who's tracking their every move. This is the most paint-by-number action movie I have ever seen.
Really?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what was going to happen almost from the first frame of film. Like, there are no surprises in this whatsoever. I was saying the lines before they were on screen because I knew what the line was going to be.
Seriously.
Yeah. Like, that's how...
Like, I love it when you're able to do that every once in a while, but it maybe happens, like, once every 10, 15 films. Right? They're like, I am the... You're like, oh, I know what they're going to say there.
Yeah, I was doing it the entire film. Wow. I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
The shocking, like, twist of who was behind it all, you knew who that was going to be.
Right.
The whole, like, thing thereafter was this... It was just a drive, a computer drive, like the size of an iPhone, and it was just... It's like, can you put a little more thought into it? And it's like, oh, we have this agent from America, and this agent from Germany, and this agent from, the UK, from England, and she's from Colombia, and this one's from China.
At least nail the accents?
Oh, yeah, because all the actresses were from there.
Okay, gotcha, so, okay.
And so it's like, all the nations putting aside their differences, coming together, and it's like, oh my God. It's so ridiculous, and it says a lot when the fight scenes are boring. And that's what they were. The fight scenes were boring. It stars Jessica Chastain, Fan Bingbing, Sebastian Stan, Penelope Cruz, Diane Kruger, Lupita Nyong'o. I mean, it's a good cast. It's just a very mediocre, middle-of-the-road film.
Really?
Yes. So out of 5 drives, I'm giving it like 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's boring. It's really, really boring. And they set it up for a sequel, which made me laugh. Like, there's no way.
No.
There's no fucking way this movie's getting a sequel. Yeah.
That's awesome. One of the shows that I'd watched was Lost in Space. I got around to watching Lost in Space season 3. When we last left the Robinsons, Will, Judy, and Penny they took all of the kids and basically went to this other planet where they kind of lived off the grid in this little air pocket bubble area. That was safe for them to breathe. The rest of the Earth, like the planet, was not very inhabitable. And then the parents and everybody else, they were kind of on this spaceship trying to get enough supplies to actually come rescue those kids. That's why they had to like separate in the first place. So I liked it in that regard, but I just wish there was a little bit more of Lord of the Flies-esque about it. The kids worked too damn well together. Like the whole entire time, it just felt like they were really cohesive, and they all took their roles where they're like, hey, yeah, the Robinsons, they're our leaders, we're going to listen to them, and they just kind of like fell in line. I'm like, no, there would be a lot more kids that were like, if you had like 170 something kids, you know, there's going to be a lot more contention, and I wish they would have like explored that a little bit more. But like, it seemed like they all worked together. They're happily building like huts together, and the robots helping them. They also, with this season, I liked what they were going to do with Will and the robot, because he finally kind of understood this alien language, and he was gathering the tools so he could solve it. But overall, I wasn't too big of a fan of Maureen and John Robinson. They're falling out, and then they get back together, and there's a couple of twists and turns. That drama I didn't much care for. And also Major Don West, he was the comic relief, and he kind of did a shitty job with it. He's chasing around on this one planet where, like, he could potentially die. He's chasing after this chicken that he loves, and he's running around, like, the whole episode, he's just running around trying to catch this chicken and not get killed by these creatures and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, why the fuck wouldn't you just, like, let that chicken die? It's a chicken.
It's a chicken.
Yeah. But overall, like, there was a couple of decent episodes, but it reminded me too much of, like, Terminator, one of those, like, later Terminator films it was a Terminator film, but it just didn't feel like a Terminator film.
Yeah.
That's honestly what, like, this felt like. It kind of lost its way, and then it wraps it up.
Much like the family themselves.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I really don't foresee them making a 4th season, honestly. There is room for that, but they pretty much wrapped it up nicely, except for then Will, now that he's a man, he goes off with like the robots to explore these other planets and stuff, and it was decent. Like, out of 5 robots, I think I'm probably at like a 2. If you've already seen the other 2 seasons, this one's fine. The threat didn't seem as imminent, but it also, every single episode, they had some sort of problem go wrong that they were able to resolve in 45 minutes.
Yeah. I honestly forgot that show even existed. I watched the first season and completely forgot about it. Yeah. So when you said season 3, I'm like,
what the hell?
Oh.
Where was season 2?
Yeah, when did season 2 happen?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I just remembered a review I have.
Oh, yeah.
Cobra Kai.
Oh, the 4th season. Yeah.
Every season.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you binge watched the hell out of that show.
I took 2 days and watched all 4 seasons.
Wow. So this will be pretty interesting because it's like the whole take on it. You didn't have to wait for season after season. Yeah.
So what happened was I had a couple days off, as I do during the week. And I thought, I really want to watch something. I saw that one. I'm like, okay, well, I'll check it out. People are saying it's really good. I'll check it out. I've seen like the first Karate Kid movie, but I haven't seen the others. Anyway. So I watched the first couple episodes. I'm like, all right, that's pretty good. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, the first scene was done. I was like, season 2. I gotta see where this is going.
Yeah.
So season 2 was done, and then season 3, and then season 4. Before I knew it, I watched the entire series. So, I'm sure you know, but if you don't, this is kind of the sequel series to the Karate Kid films.
Right.
Now, the interesting take on this is that they start off not with the Karate Kid, Ralph Macchio, but with his rival, Johnny Lawrence, William Zabka. We follow him and his story. And what's interesting about that is that he has a completely different take on what happened in the Karate Kid films.
Right.
He sees it completely differently, which is interesting.
Is he right in his views?
You can see from both sides.
Okay.
You can see from both sides. So we come to find out that he's kind of a loser. He's this clueless kind of handyman. And that was one of the main things problems I had with this is he was like stuck in the 80s. Like he didn't know how to work a computer because computers are for nerds. Like that's what he kept saying.
Yeah.
He still had like porn magazines from the 80s, and he didn't have like a cell phone or anything. It's like, how do you just exist in the world and not know any of these things? Like that was a little hard to buy, that premise, but
I guess if you're just, in one spot, interact with only a couple of people.
Well, yeah, but it was like, I'm sure you've seen Crocodile Dundee, right?
Yeah.
Remember when he went to New York and everything was just like, oh my gosh, like what's a car? What's a building? That's how he was with like technology. And it's like, you can't live in the world and be that level of stupid when it comes to like, a laptop or a smartphone.
Right.
Like, that's you would have to actively work not to engage with these things. Anyway, that was one of the main problems I had. So what ends up happening is Johnny Lawrence has another run-in with Daniel LaRusso, Ralph Macchio, who is this successful car dealer, car salesman. He owns his own car dealership, super successful, rich guy, and that makes Johnny Lawrence even more pissed off at him. Right? Because he thinks that he cheated in that competition. And so he says, okay, well, I'm going to go back to what I was good at, which was karate and Cobra Kai. So he starts up Cobra Kai again. Well, what ends up happening is now Daniel LaRusso is like, this can't happen again. Cobra Kai was evil, so he tries to shut him down. And then eventually, Johnny Lawrence's mentors come back, and they kind of take over Cobra Kai, and he kind of gets booted out, and so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, now he's back to being a loser again, and so he has to team up unwillingly with Daniel LaRusso with competing karate schools. And the kids they have, these new kids that are in these schools are really good. They're really good actors. The karate fight scenes were really cool. But another problem I had was so many times it was like, okay, now you're on the good side. Now you're on the bad side. Now you're back on the good side. And then Johnny and Daniel are working together. And then they're not working together. And they're working together again.
Yeah.
It's just, it kept going back and forth. And
pick a side.
Pick a side. Exactly. It's like, I understand you need drama, but some of it's a little forced. But overall, it's really entertaining. It's a fun watch. Like I said, I binged the whole thing. So obviously it was entertaining. And yeah, it's definitely worth a look. You don't even really need to know much about the Karate Kid films. Like I said, I've only seen the first one, and that was like 25 years ago.
Right.
And I haven't seen it since.
Yeah. So as long as you have a basic understanding.
A very basic knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg. Who won who, the fight.
And even if you don't, they have flashbacks to the film. So,
okay.
Yeah. So out of 5 swan kicks,
yeah,
I'm giving it I give it a 3.
Okay.
Yeah. If there wasn't all like the forced drama and his extreme naivete when it came to basic technology, I'd probably bump it up to maybe a 4. But some of that stuff was just like, really?
I think they'll have a season 5.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If they don't have a season 5, I would be really, really surprised.
Huh.
Because they left it off at a pretty big cliffhanger. Yeah. Have you seen any of it?
Watched like the first couple of episodes. Back when it was like on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then you had to pay for it, and I'm like, nah.
Well, it's all on Netflix now,
Yeah.
so
All right.
I recommend it.
Alrighty. One final thing that we did see both together was Harry Potter 20th anniversary return to Hogwarts.
Well, we both saw it separately. It's not like we were in the same room watching it,
No.
holding hands like a couple of girlfriends, drinking wine and watching Harry Potter. Although it does sound kind of fun.
I was going to say, hold up.
It does sound... Maybe we should rethink that.
Drinking the wine, watching Harry Potter?
Yeah. Yeah, 20th anniversary reunion.
Like, they said it perfectly when it was just like Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, and Rupert Grint.
Mm-hmm.
They said it perfectly where they're like, it feels like so much has passed, but at the same time, no time at all has passed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And I was thinking the same thing. I felt like they did this one pretty well. They kind of went through the films and they lumped a couple of them together. And then they also had actors and people that were like really quintessential to the films in that section. I thought they handled it really well. I was pretty impressed with that.
Like, it wasn't like a big... like the Friends reunion where they all sat down all together and, talked about it. It's like they paired people off, or it was like in 2 groups or 2 people or 3 people, and it wasn't just the main 3, sometimes it was like
Daniel Radcliffe and Helena what's her name?
Bonham Carter.
Bonham Carter, yeah.
Or sometimes it was Daniel and Gary Oldman or Tom Felton and a couple of the other guys from
Crab and Goyle, those guys.
It wasn't them. It was.
No, you're right.
It was the lone black kid in Hogwarts.
Dean Thomas. His name is?
Dean Thomas and
Alfred something.
Yeah. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty cool because you got to see so many perspectives. They shared behind the scenes stories and and that was a lot of fun.
I did sense some sort of I think it's just kind of friendship, older brotherly love, but Tom Felton and Emma Watson,
they fucked at some point.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah.
At some point during the filming, those 2 hooked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was too much weird sexual tension between those 2.
Yeah. No, seriously. Yeah. They're like, I had a huge crush on you, and they just kind of played it off or downplayed it a little bit.
It's like that whole time. You're telling me you 2 never did anything bullshit.
Although I'd seen a couple of TikToks and it made me laugh so much when Rupert was Emma had said, no, that was the most awkward kiss ever. And then you just saw his face and he just was all depressed about it. He's like, really? And, even Daniel Radcliffe was like, damn, that was ouch. Okay. Yeah.
You should just have the music like the Hello Darkness, my old friend. Poor Rupert.
It starts raining on him.
Just can't catch a break.
It was crazy cool to see them all. What's his bucket? Hagrid. Robbie something or other.
Coltrane.
Yes. He knocked it out of the park.
Oh, yeah.
He did a fantastic job with this. Like, I was thoroughly impressed. I also found it really interesting how they handled the whole J.K. Rowling's situation.
Yeah. They did have the footage of her in interviews, but they were filmed years before.
Yeah, and that they made a point. Like,
Yes.
the whole time that it was being shown, they're like, 2019.
Yeah. Like, we're not with her anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was good. It was fun to see. Because like they were saying, it's the first time that they've all been together.
Yes.
In the same room, I think since they wrapped filming, and so they got emotional, and it was fun to watch.
It was. Yeah. Like, I've always been a big fan of those. Where are they now? What are they up to? What do they look like?
Yeah.
And it was cool because we'd watch them grow up on these films.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Also, like, they had a nice little in memoriam for some of the actors that aren't there anymore. Like
Dumbledore.
The first Dumbledore, Alan Rickman, Lucius Malfoy's wife. Apparently, she died. Didn't know that.
No, I'd know.
But yeah, a bunch of them no longer around. But yeah, if you're a fan of Harry Potter, as I think one or two people are, if you haven't watched it, definitely go check it out. It's
for sure.
Yeah.
I loved when they were talking about those candles.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
they're real candles.
Yeah, that lit on fire and like were falling from the sky at one point.
Like, you think that was the smartest thing? Having lit candles above kids,
right?
And there was a string holding them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, but it's like more practical.
It is,
right?
It is, and
Well, practical effects. I appreciated that.
Sure.
Well, I think we will do a deeper dive for our DLC.
Yes.
On this.
Yeah.
But overall, out of 5 wands,
I'd give it like a solid. So I'm at it like a 3.5.
Same. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. I felt like there were some areas that it could have been like a little bit better, and I was kind of expecting a little bit more, like more stuff that I didn't know.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of people that weren't there that are still alive. Like, the second Dumbledore wasn't there. Molly Weasley wasn't there.
No.
Yeah. Like Lupin, he wasn't there. His wife wasn't there. The gal that was also on Game of Thrones. Yeah, I was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping that maybe eventually they'd all have him in one room, like towards the end, but no, they never did. It was all separate.
Wasn't 100% sure if that was due to like COVID restraints.
It probably was.
Restrictions.
It probably was.
Right.
Because even when the three of them were together, they were
kind of separated a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There you go. So, yeah, like we said, click over to the DLC. We'll do kind of a deeper dive on that and probably Harry Potter in general.
Yes.
But for now, if you want to listen to our other DLCs or other episodes, head to patreon.com/WorldWarG. You find them all there. Sign up for as little as $1 a month. Or if you just want to listen to our episodes proper, you can go to worldwarg.podbean.com, which we just celebrated, didn't even mention this, our 8 years.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
You'd posted something up on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Been going for 8 years now.
Yeah.
So you can even talk about that in the DLC too, now I think about it. Yeah, so go to there on social media. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Just search World War G. You can find our merchandise at myspreadshop.com/WorldWarG. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwargpod@gmail.com. So, this has been World War G. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends, and something Harry Potter. I couldn't think of anything.